Hi, I'm Heather North from heatherscreativeblessings.com. Normally on my YouTube channel you will find my card making tutorials or other crafty creative ideas, but today I have something a little bit different. I wanted to share with you my bullet journal planner and how I have been using it to really help keep track of my life, my family's life, and my business. So I first discovered the bullet journal planner method when my friend Elaine posted on Facebook that it had been working for her and she was going to start it again for 2016. So this was probably in late December or early January that I saw this post from her. I went over to her blog to check it out because I had no idea what the bullet journal planner was. I had been using the Erin Condren planner and it was working fairly well for me, but I still couldn't keep track of everything with that planner. So I was having to use another notebook and a desk calendar and a wall calendar just to keep track of everything. So it worked, but it didn't. So I went to Elaine's blog. She had a post to a video kind of explaining the bullet journal. I clicked on over there, and then from there I watched the next video that came up and the next video, and I just thought, wow, this is something that might work for me. So I will make sure and link down below to these websites that I'm mentioning so you can check them out for yourself, see if this will work for you, see if you can get any ideas from them that maybe I haven't shared because I don't know it all. It's March right now and I just started in the middle of January. That's my first tip. Start right where you are. Don't worry about starting on January 1st or make it a specific day, the first of the month. Just start where you are and see if this idea does work for you. So I started my bullet journal in the middle of January and it's now March and I am loving it. It is not perfect, but that's one of the beauties of the bullet journal is you can change it up every month, every week, every day if you want to suit your needs. But it has been a great way for me to keep track of what's going on in my family, keep track of our appointments, of course, to do some future planning, which is something that was lacking for me in that first couple of months, but I've got some great ideas that have really been helping me in the last few weeks and I think will be good carried forward. So future planning is great. Goal setting and how to reach those goals, as well as things for my business, keeping track of stats, keeping track of orders in and out, things like that. So I'm going to be doing a bullet planner journal series. I will make a playlist on YouTube. If this is something you are interested in and want to see more of, let me know. Watch the videos. If you are a card maker and you're like, I am not interested in this at all, just ignore the videos you see with planner or bullet journal, something like that in the title. So what exactly is a bullet journal? I will be going over this in this video, but I just want to show you real quick. Here is the journal all by itself. And here is one of my pages. This is my weekly that I'll be going through and doing with you. I already did it. I have the dotted, and I like it because it helps me line things up for the graphs that I do. Not all my pages are like this, but this one is, and I can go horizontal and write straight, but also to do your vertical lines and little banners and things. It just helps me get it all straightened out. Plus, I've been working on creative lettering. I've been taking this classes by Creatively, and it's 31 days to love your lettering. So this dotted graph is a great way for me to help with my spacing and writing because I'm not really fond of my own handwriting, but I want to be. So I've been working on that. I'll link to her blog down below as well. So that's it in a nutshell. If you ever want to see something more from me, if I go too fast and there's something you want to see or you want ideas on how to do something, leave me a comment. I read all of my comments. So leave me a comment down below and I'll see what I can do about making that happen for you. So let me turn the camera around so you can see the heart of the matter and see what's in my bullet journal. Welcome to my bullet journal journey. This is a Moleskine journal. It is soft and buttery. I just love the feel of it. It has this elastic band to kind of hold it in place. It's kind of loose, but I guess that means you could fit more in here. And as it gets bigger and bigger and expands, the elastic will still fit. I've not had a problem with things falling out. I don't have a lot of loose things in my journal though, so I don't know. I'm just gonna start going through this journal, and I'm gonna keep notes off to the side of other videos that I can make for you. If you see something in here that you want to see more in depth, please leave me a comment down below and let me know. I can certainly work on making more videos for you or posting pictures on my blog or Instagram, so just let me know. Okay, first page is a title page, and it's not done yet. It's one of the videos I'm going to end up doing. I couldn't quite decide what I wanted to do with this page, and then I found this quote that happens to be about the word, my word I've chosen for 2016, and I'll share that with you in another video. But I wanted to show you this here. This is my little color code, and let me just open to the first page. I got this idea from Boho Berry, and I will link to her down below. I took a page out of the back of my bullet journal, and then I just wrote the different categories that I wanted to color code, and then I line it up. And when I get a new, like this one is a calendar, so I'll just mark it with a calendar. And I also have the same thing in the back. So this happens to be a calendar too. I just use washi tape, one on either side, to hold it in place so that when I don't need it, it just sits right inside of there nicely. I actually took some tape runner and taped this page to my front page because you could see through it. I had done a lot of markering on this page, and it ran through and it didn't look nice. And let's see if I can show you this here. Can you see how this page, it doesn't come all the way in? It's glued right in here. That was annoying to me, so I just took some tape runner. It's a double-sided tape, and I basically just ran it. I don't want to do this because I put the color code here, but just run it along here and then tape your pages together. Nice, easy solution. Okay, so to start out, what I have is birthdays. This is my perpetual birthday and anniversary calendar, all the months of the year, and then the dates with the different people who have birthdays in those months. This doesn't just have to be birthdays. You can do anniversaries or anything that happens every year on the same date. So that's a great thing to keep track of. This is my 2016 at a glance. So I've got each of the months. Then I have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the days of the week, and then I start in with the actual dates. Next I have my key. So I like to do boxes. You could do hearts, circles, triangles, whatever you want, or you can do what I do down here as well. But I just do a box. That means to do. If I've got half of a line through it, it means it's in progress. If there's an asterisk next to it, I should have put this over here because really I'd put an asterisk next to it. That is the most important. That has to be done on this day or at this time. I need to get to this, so I'll put an asterisk there. Once the task is complete, I fill it in all the way. If I need to move it to the next day or week, I just do an arrow, again, beside the task. Then I also have to-dos that are just a dash, a line, and then when I get it done, I put a cross through it. And what I use this for most often, let me go to a daily thing. I'm just gonna flip to one of my daily things so you can kind of see this in action. There's a little square with the task next to it. This has an asterisk next to it. My son had an optometrist visit at 3 p.m. Needed to make sure I did it. And these are tasks that I moved or thought I was going to need to move. Let's go over here. I don't have any that are just lines. Okay, here's a line. This is something I was doing for Stamp Nation for the March, probably posting a challenge. So March 9th and March 23rd. And what I'll do is, I posted the March 9th one, I put a little cross, I posted the 23rd, put a little cross. Everything is done and I'll check it off. You can see here arrows, like this one, arrows just means move it over. And I'll put it to the next day, and if it doesn't get done, I'll move it over again until it gets done. That's just my quick and simple key. And then this is the index. I had to make my own, and then I numbered the pages by hand. It's a little bit tedious, but it actually got me to start writing in my journal, because when I have a brand new book, it's hard to write in it. So that actually got over my fear. And I did a couple of extra pages, and then this is at the back, and you can already see I've got some things in the back of my bullet journal. So I started from the back up here. These are some of my goals for my blog, Creative Blessings, my sewing goals, just goals in general, books that I want to read or I'm reading. I will do a video just on goals and goal planning if you would like, but this video is going to be really long, so I'm not going to include it here today. This was my first attempt at the January, and this is a combination of what I had seen others use, and it did not work for me. But I will include the videos so that you can see them and see if they'll work for you. I tried separating, it's got the dates, so these are the days of the month, and then these are the days of the week. So the first was a Friday, etc. I separated it family, personal, my creative blessings, business, and goals. And then I have it color-coded by each person in the family. But this, it just didn't work because in our family, we tend to have a lot of things going on the same night. And then we've got days with nothing going on. So it kind of clusters that way. And I couldn't quite fit things in where I needed them to be. So I ditched this and did not do it again. But it might work for you, especially if you don't have a lot that goes on each day. You might just have one extra thing. That might work for you. Bills and such, so I keep track of my bills, the days of the week. I check mark what I've done. January tracker. I'm going to show you how to make these coming up. I started with a 3-month future planning, and this sort of kind of worked, but didn't quite work, so I came up with something different. I'll show you that in a minute. And then this is just a brain dump or need to remember, or it needs to get done sometime this quarter, but not necessarily in the specific months. I'm not sure if I will continue doing this or not. I might. But I have here my January memories and my February memories. And then this is waiting on. These are waiting on orders or cards they're supposed to come in, or perhaps I mailed in the license and I want to make sure that I keep track of when the tabs come in for the car, or my son's W-2s for his work, or whatever it is. This seems to be working much better for me as a future planner. So this is 2016 at a glance. And you can see my little attempts at adding some decoration and color. I find having the black draws your eye, and having the color just makes it more pleasing to look at. What I have done here is I filled out all of the months of the year. And so it took up 4 pages. And then as something comes up, I write it down, and then I put a square around that date. I will sometimes fill it in like I did here if I'm going to be gone or out of town or on vacation. What's great about this is I can write when something is due and when it's going to be featured on a specific blog or website, especially if it's not my own. And I can also keep track of things like dentist appointments and things in the future. I also have one in the very back, because future planning is one of the things I've really struggled with this method, because I haven't seen a lot of really good future planning videos, or at least I hadn't when I started this. So this was kind of just something I came up with. I also have 2017 at a glance. So when we go in July to the dentist, I can then come over to February and add when our February appointment is. I also have the months filled out correctly. So if I want to see, well, in 2017, Christmas is going to fall on a Monday. But since I don't use it all the time, I put it at the back of my bullet journal. And that way I also don't get confused and accidentally write it if I did it right after this one, but you can do it however you want. It's your journal. The next thing is my son Tyler. He's in college, and I wanted a place to keep track of his schedule and I could do this more detailed because he's got, I think he's got 5 classes. So he's got classes and labs. He does tutoring. He tutors in the tutoring center 2 or 3 days a week. But I just basically wrote down when he's leaving and when he's coming home. And then his work schedule. He recently got a new job about a month ago, and right now his schedule is Saturday and Sundays from 8 to 4. That could change. I haven't filled out this side yet because I didn't want you guys to see it. I'm not going to fill out all this information for you. And this is something I need to add here. This will be for my other son, the school he goes to, the school's phone number, website, email of his teachers. I'm going to have his coaches' numbers that I have, band director, her direct email so that I can shoot her an email if I have a question about anything. Same with his coach. He's trying out for baseball this week, so if he makes the baseball team, I will also have his basic schedule here because, you know, it changes from week to week, but I will have his basic practice times and game times, like what time, how early he's supposed to be there before a game and that kind of thing. Also, his school has a private website for family access so that we can go on there and see his grades at any given time. We can see every assignment that he's turned in, every graded paper or test. It's all there. He can't get away with anything, poor guy. So, and I'm always forgetting the password, so that is probably also going to go there. And then I started some weeklies. I'll cover that a little bit more later. This is another attempt at doing future planning. You might find that you only need one of these things. My problem has been that I kind of have these different categories. I've got my family life, I've got my business, and I've got my blog. And so and then I've got family, so I've got kids. So there's all these different schedules to keep up with, and the planners I've used before just didn't give me the space to do that. So what I've done, and I have thought about putting together a whole separate planner just for my blog, and I may do that at some point, but for right now I wanted to simplify and focus and get everything all in one. So that's my goal. And one of the ways I've done that is to just combine both things in one. So I've got my blog stuff here. Anything that I do for a blog or design teams, that will all go on this page. If there's something that's due, I'll put it there. I list out the challenges I create challenges for the Stamp Nation website, and so I'll write down the different challenges after I have them all up, and then if I've got a week off, I will mark it so that I remind myself I don't have to do that. I also teach the Inspire By class every, 4 to 6 weeks. It changes depending on how many designers we have on the design team at any given time or what's going on as far as events. So I'll write down my Inspired By when that's due. I know that my design, if I'm designing a card for that week, it's due on Monday if it goes live on Tuesday. So I could write that in there, but I know that that's standard every week. And then the next page is just our family stuff. So Tyler had an advisor day. There was no college. Michael had no school here. Scott and I went to Arcata. Marty, my father-in-law's birthday was here, Michael's birthday was here, and you'll see my use of washi tape. So for February I had little hearts, and then I put a little washi tape on the top, And then I have these little bubble dots I thought would be kind of fun for the birthday, so I just added them there. It's not a lot of decoration. Most of the decoration comes from just using different colors of pins, but just a little bit can go a long way, and I didn't have to feel like I had to be this great artist in order to have a journal that was interesting to me. I have space over here where you could write things down. I didn't, but this would be a great thing to write. 8th, M's birthday, 14th, Valentine's Day, you know, that kind of thing. Believe it or not, this is color coded. I chose blue for my son, Michael. Mine are pink, purple, or sometimes they are teal or aqua, depending on my mood. My other son is in red, and my husband is in either gray or, again, this aqua color. Usually I'll use this color if he and I are doing something together. Another bills and such. I'm going to show you how I do this and what I include. My tracker, and this is where I keep my ribbon. My stats page, and I will do another video on stats that I'm keeping track of. This is for my blog and for YouTube. If you're a YouTuber or a blogger, or you have a business and you want to keep track of stats and something like this, then this will be, I'll have that in a future video. Again, waiting on, things that I am waiting to come, car registration tabs, an order, the stamp of approval. April collection should be here any day now. I love being on the design team. You get things early to play with. As I said earlier, I'm a Stamp Nation challenge coordinator. That means that I come up with the challenges and the graphics for the Stamp Nation website. It's a website for paper crafters who are passionate about making cards mostly. And so what I have here is my lineup of cards that I make, and I didn't want to give everything away. This is just kind of my cheat sheet to make sure that all of the challenges aren't the same week after week. So I have all of these here to choose from, like a technique. Anytime we have a stamp of approval release, that is going to be the theme of that challenge. So that's the theme, stamp of approval. We had a challenge in February where we cased one of our members. So we cased Kevin's Queen of Hearts hat. Sketch, design. So that's kind of how it goes. And I have it just listed out February, March, April. I think I go through July. Yeah, just go through July here. And I write it in either pencil or I use an erasable ink. And the reason I do this is because it changes. So sometimes something comes up and maybe we have a sponsor, and so we want to include that sponsor. We tailor make the challenge to fit that sponsor. So I just lightly write it in pencil, and that way I can change it around as I need to. And then if I have a day off, I will write that down, and that changes too depending on different things that come up. So I could just cross it out, but I wanted this to kind of stay nice and neat and let it be a record. So after this bullet journal is done, I will still have a record of all of the challenges, and that way I don't repeat them too much. So I have it through, oops, don't look, because I have some ideas all the way through June. Stamp Nation Brain Dump. So again, these are ideas, these are challenge things that I'm thinking about doing, or pictures I want to look up to go along with them, graphics. I've got a sketch here for the stenciling class. My next page is for Creative Blessings, similar to the Stamp Nation, and I think I'm going to cover this stuff in a future video about blogging and YouTubing and planning your life. This is one of my weeklies, some washi tape up top, dailies, I'm keeping track of water. I played around with some different ways to keep track of my cards and ended up with this idea. Again, I can share that in a business one. Meeting notes, more weeklies, more dailies. I don't do a lot of drawing, but I do have this. We sat and watched a beautiful sunset over Wedding Rock in Patrick's Point State Park in California. gorgeous. So I kind of did a little doodling there. And then the next day we saw a whole herd of elk at this big red barn and schoolhouse in Oric, California, on our way back home. And then we stopped in Bandon, Oregon to see the wildlife walk through safari, the little baby animals. So I kind of have some patterns. I tell you, I'm not very good at drawing, but this at a glance and is a good way for me to keep track of some of the memories of things that happened. And then on Sunday the 14th, that was Valentine's Day, so I just put a little heart. It's time for me to do some spring cleaning, so I just decided I'm actually going to do a spring cleaning page on my in my March planning. But this was before my husband and I left on our trip. I just want to make sure the house was clean before I left. I wanted to make sure that I remembered to pack everything, and you can see there's lots of blank spaces here. So if that bothers you, I could have just fit the operation cleanup and the packet right into one and have a whole nother page. I could come back here and doodle, I could come back here and practice my handwriting, or I can just leave it. And I'm okay with there being space and just leaving it. It's probably what I'll do. I am a member of the South Sound Modern Quilt Guild, and I am in charge of the social media committee. So this was all of my planning for that. I will talk about that in another video if you're interested in how I keep track of all of that. This Monday has nothing on it. That's because I wasn't feeling very well, and I ended up just taking a me day. You'll see if I flip back here on Sunday and on Monday, I don't have anything. I just wasn't feeling very well, and I didn't feel. I tend to fill out my my planner on Saturday or Sunday for the next week. It's just something kind of relaxing that I enjoy doing, or I'll do it Monday morning. And since I wasn't feeling well, I actually didn't do anything there. I did a little bit of sewing in my sewing room and a little bit of reading, and I was okay with just leaving that blank. Now I'm getting into some March planning, and I'm going to share my March planning in my next video. Because I've got some things to share with you here. I've got my monthly started. I'm going to fill out a month for you to see how I fill it in, along with my tracker, my bills, my week. I've already started this week because here we are today and I'm getting into March, but I will fill out another weekly to share with you. And then I'm just going to flip quickly to the back of my bullet journal. And then this is my practice page for all of my pens. When I get a new pen brand or size, I like to put it in here. So this is Tombow. I can't remember what it is called. It's got some great thicks and thins. I'm gonna have to look at my order and see what this one was. It says T1 and calligraphy pen. I got it because Lisa from Creative Lee recommended it, and I was like, all right, she recommends it, I'm getting it. She has said that it works on washi tape, so this could end up being my new favorite pen, who knows. This has a pocket for anything that I need to keep track of, receipts, business cards. In my old planner, what I liked to do was to take the business card, like this is my dog groomer. I will put the dog groomer little punch tab, which also has her phone number in case I need to reschedule, and I would put it in the month. So this is my, let's go here, this is my March blog. So I would just put it right here. I just use this back pocket for all of those things. So in here I've got dentist appointment reminder cards, and I can put receipts in there. And then if it's getting close to that month, I will put the business cards that I might need, or appointment reminder cards, so that I can easily flip back to it. I hope you have enjoyed this look into my new planner system. I started it in January and it's now March, and so far I am loving it. I have learned a lot in this process, and I am just really enjoying having the place and space to keep track of everything that I need to. If you like this video and the idea of creating your own planner journal, please click the like button. If you'd like to see more videos from me, be sure and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out. I'm going to be putting this into a playlist and starting a playlist just for planner ideas. If there is an idea that you want to see, if there's something that I flipped through in here too quickly that you want more information on, please leave me a comment below. I love to hear what you guys have to say, and I read every comment. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.